Thank you so much for joining us today, and welcome to the 4th annual State of the Town Address. I'm Scott Soldat Valenzuela, CEO at the Fountain Hills Chamber, and it is our pleasure to host this event, to work so closely with the town, and to support the mayor in addressing Fountain Hills. We have a wide variety of people here this morning, from elected officials to town staff, business owners, the public, and we are just ecstatic that this event is so full and so many of you are taking the time to be with us this morning. I'd like to recognize a few people. From the town of Fountain Hills, Mayor Ginny Dickey. Vice Mayor Art Tolis. Council Member Sherry Leckrone. Council Member Alan Magazine. Council Member Mike Charno. Council Member David Spielich. Council Member Dennis Brown. And another special guest this morning and great partner of the Chamber is our town manager, Grady Miller. We are also very excited that the Fort McDowell Yavapai Nation is here this morning, and representing the Fort McDowell Yavapai Nation is President Bernadine Burnett, and Vice President Paul Russell. We have two former mayors with us as well. Former Mayor Jay Schlum. Is that a Fountain Hills logo on your shirt? Are those available? Can people purchase those today? Oh. Very cool. And former mayor and employee of the Chamber for a very long time, Sharon Morgan. I shouldn't say very long. I should say just long enough, right? Very long. Please also join me in recognizing the Chamber's Board of Directors who are present this morning, starting with the Superintendent of the Fountain Hills School District, Dr. Rob Allen. Owner of one of our great local restaurants, Euro Pizza Cafe, Marita Kraya. From Wells Fargo, Brian Horvath. Owner of Desert Title and Tag, Annette Tingy. Our board member from Sonoran Lifestyle Real Estate, Suzanne Nan. The owner of our local Little Caesars and our board secretary this year, Audrey Willette. Serving as our board treasurer this year and partner in Fountain Events Inc., Christine Colley. Our immediate past chair from First Financial Equity Corporation is Paul Peralt. And from SRP, serving as our vice chair this year, Leanne Torkelson. Have you had enough clapping yet? Moving right along. The mayor's address is an important opportunity for the mayor to address the community, and it is our pleasure to bring this event forward along with some key partners, including the town of Fountain Hills and SRP. For 4 years now, SRP has been the presenting sponsor of this event and has worked closely with us to ensure that we are providing this event to the public, to the business community, and to anyone who is interested in participating and really starting to get involved or getting involved in our local leadership. We appreciate that support. We also truly appreciate the support of the Fort McDowell Yavapai Nation as our premier partner this morning. It is important that you're here this morning. We value that you're participating and involved in Fountain Hills, and that we're involved in your community as well. So thank you so much. Our breakfast today is prepared by Chamber member Hobnob Catering, and a special thanks to our sponsors, Fountain Hills Recovery, Euro Pizza Cafe, the Fountain Hills Sanitary District, Fountain Hills School District, Desert Title and Tag, and Republic Services. Thank you so much, and if I could ask for a round of applause for them, and it'll be the last one. Please now join me in recognizing Linda Brady from SRP.
Thank you, Scott. Good morning, everyone. On behalf of SRP, I'd like to welcome all of you to the annual Mayor's Address. It's great to see so many elected officials, company owners, business professionals, entrepreneurs, and citizens of this great community, along with several of my colleagues from SRP. SRP is proud to support Fountain Hills and the Mayor's Breakfast through our partnership with the town of Fountain Hills and through the Chamber of Commerce. This morning, I have the pleasure of introducing Mayor Ginny Dickey. Mayor Dickey and her family, they chose to make Fountain Hills their home in 1983. Born and raised in New York, she followed her parents who had fallen in love with this beautiful desert community in the 70s. And she is married to Jim Dickey, and they have 3 grown sons, and they all graduated from Fountain Hills High School, along with many nieces and nephews and their children. Mayor Dickey holds a Bachelor of Science degree in mathematics from Tufts University and was employed in related positions here and in Vermont and in New Hampshire. She was an Arizona Senate staffer and an assistant director at the Arizona Department of Environmental Quality. After retiring, she worked with the U.S. Attorney's Office as a neighborhood liaison. Mayor Dickey was a town councilwoman for over 8 years, co-chairing the Centennial Committee and sitting on the MAG Regional Domestic Violence Council until 2014. She was elected mayor last August, and she took the oath on December 4th with Councilman Magazine, Charno, and Spellick, joining council members Brown, Leckrone, and Tillis in their service to the community. It is my pleasure to introduce the 8th mayor in the history of Fountain Hills, Mayor Ginny Dickey.
Thank you. Good morning. So happy to see you here. Welcome to the 2019 State of the Town. If that date resonates with you, it's because we became an incorporated municipality in 1989. So this is the year we'll be celebrating our 30th anniversary. We're very grateful, of course, to the Chamber and the organizers, all our generous sponsors, the town and the community center staff, and all of you for coming to this sold-out breakfast. And those who are watching live now on Facebook and will be watching later online and on Channel 11. They say there's nothing new under the sun. In fact, I was having a discussion with a good friend the other day about this. We were discussing births and losses and in our families, our ever-increasing aches and pains, weddings and trips and hockey games. We finally started joking that what we were talking about really wasn't unique, that our parents and other generations had been through all this before, hence nothing new under the sun. But there is a second part to that. It is new. It's new to us. Have you ever seen the 80s musical Starlight Express? It's played in Vegas 6 days a week, sometimes twice a day, on roller skates. It was quite a spectacle. The athleticism, the singing, the pure energy was exhausting just to watch. Well, that cast treated every audience as if it was the first time they were experiencing it, because it was. That's how your mayor and council feel, that we owe you our best, every time. Whether you've been in Fountain Hills for 35 years or more, like my family, or you're yet to experience your first Arizona summer, You deserve a beautiful, safe, and well-managed community with fun activities and joyful experiences that will make lifelong memories. When we faced a shortfall in the school district in the 90s, as a parent and as a board member, I never wanted, say, these fourth graders to be the ones with no art or no field trips or coming home in the dark because we were on double sessions. They deserved our best. This was their only chance to be in fourth grade. So you see where I'm going. We have choices to make, and we're going to make them together. Some of us on council, like you were mentioning earlier, are only about a month in. Yet we've been learning and listening and meeting with staff and commissioners, businesses, utilities, groups, and individuals almost since the election in August. Our more established members have also been seeking input, as always. I asked my new colleagues last fall what some of their priorities might be so that I could share them today. They include building up citizen trust so that as decisions are made and ideas take shape, residents will engage and assist in exploring them. Public involvement and transparency on the part of the council and staff will help bolster confidence as we look to 2020 and beyond with an updated voter-approved general plan and a desire to maintain a high quality of life. Another was about making sound choices around future financial funding as we try to balance unpredictable revenue sources with our ongoing needs. Public safety and all that entails was a strong priority for some council members. Perhaps adding to our already robust law enforcement partnerships with the education and groups such as the Coalition, we could hold events and distribute information focused on topics such as domestic violence or substance abuse, including opioids, recovery, and suicide, with an available resources component. Our prosecutor, Mark Iacovino, had recently prepared a report with important local data on these and other issues. Council is aware that the unusual number of serious incidences have raised concern, and while some are certainly aberrations, others, such as texting and driving, pedestrian and intersection accidents, and speeding, indicate maybe a closer look is needed. Members suggest that they want to work even harder and more with our professional MCSO officers to talk about tailoring services to local input, such as community policing, which has already actually been increasing in a great way. There has been some frustration about how crimes are reported. In my opinion, though, and I'll go into it a little bit later, also, social media and the 24-hour news cycle has perhaps turned us a bit into an impatient society, somewhat willing to accept, even if not entirely accurate, breaking news. We recognize that the public's right to know is very important, and how that gets reconciled with ongoing investigations or incomplete facts is something that we work on, again, together. Other council intentions, and thank you, council, for letting me know what's important to you, include specializing their efforts in areas of expertise or interest. You may have seen in December's meeting that members were volunteering to serve on committees and commissions that give us regional exposure, influence in educational, business, and growth opportunities, and locally as well, signing up, including positions in the many clubs, the churches, and the other groups that serve Fountain Hills so well. I feel very lucky as a mayor and a resident to have this council with such a variety of experiences and viewpoints. For many years, you've probably seen my little Fiat outside, that my license plate on my car is Harmony, which is harmony. And it's not just about all those years singing alto with the community theater. It's actually about balance, of course, and figuring things out as a team what the majority of the community wants and will support, and how that fits with our most basic needs. Opinions are going to vary about how much or how little a government should do for a community. The framework was put in place for formation of municipalities so that people could gather in the same geographic area, have access to safety and infrastructure, education and business opportunities, and amenities that reflect, hopefully, the pursuit of happiness for ideally the most citizens. So let's talk about some of the things we learned as we went out into the community, and then we'll show the video about what our town has been working on and plans for the future. Let me just say there's been so many wonderful ideas and offers to help. For example, the Leadership Academy graduates, they presented their very relevant projects The Strategic Planning Advisory Commission, they volunteer many hours for us so that the Vision Fountain Hills effort can go forward, working through the Fountain Hills Civic Association, and they take data and come up with common goals for implementation. Real estate professionals have been a great source of insight. They can act as the first line of economic development for the town. Something I've been advocating for. They literally bring people and families to Fountain Hills. And as you know, population is key to many of the issues that we talk about and have concerns about. Meanwhile, our business community, what the Chamber represents, continues to promote Fountain Hills as a place to work, recreate, and dine for all the right reasons. Fountain Hills has so much to offer and so much to enjoy. Placing an emphasis on employment opportunities, excellent services, and a variety of available commercial space is important to our growth and our viability. Although we may not be able to compete with cities 5 or 10 times our size in some ways, our strategic location, our incredible views, of course, being a safe, small town atmosphere, provide a special kind of business opportunity, including home-based, unmatched in the Valley. Recruiting businesses that share those values and providing a sustainable environment for them to succeed is an important goal for us. Residents have ideas about a lot of things. They have advice about our budget. They'd like to assist us when we are talking about it. They want to create walkable, accessible communities and neighborhoods. An entertainment district, much more events, health and well-being pursuits, nature and the environment, grant writing, quality Wi-Fi and cellular infrastructure, teen and aquatic amenities. Someone wrote me, senior services, the community center, and all our programs are vital to the community. The center is an active, important part of this beautiful town. She recognizes that Starlight Express philosophy. Residents have also helped by researching issues such as school security, citing reports and plans of action, some of which our district has already implemented. They looked at other cities. How do they handle empty storefronts, housing costs, attracting younger residents, and short-term rentals? These things are all being addressed. We have common interests, and they bring successful ideas to Fountain Hills. And these offers are genuine and from people who have knowledge and experience to make things happen. Harnessing the talent of volunteers will be a fulfilling and ongoing priority. We are counting on their help, as we have so gratefully for so long. In addition, we count on our governmental and service partners as we develop give-and-take relationships that benefit us all. The Fort McDowell Yavapai Nation and the Salt River, Pima Maricopa Indian communities offer so much help and support, particularly in the area of tourism and education. Speaking of education, the Fountain Hills District, EVIT, the charter schools, private and home schools are literally our future. Their success is our success, and exploring more ways to expand and tell our stories can prove an economic engine for the town and again attract younger families. We've recently seen firsthand the advantage that working closer with the sanitary district is as they improve their infrastructure and ours at Fountain Park. Water is a #1 issue in 2019, and the sanitary district, EPCOR, and SRP are an integral part of that conversation. They, along with communication companies and Republic Allied Waste, as our utilities are so intertwined with our everyday life, that maintaining strong, good faith relationships is key to our businesses and our residents. Now we'll get ready to watch the video so you will get to know our staff a little bit as each explains their department's functions and actions over the years. Grace, thank you.
Hi, I'm Grady Miller. I'm the town manager. On behalf of the town, I am pleased to share the town's accomplishments and major highlights from 2018. Coming up in the video, you'll hear from our department directors on a variety of important topics.
Hello, my name is Justin Weldy. I am the Public Works Director, and I have been a member of the town staff since 2007. The town's roads are a $200 million asset and are a critical part of the community. The most recent investment in this asset occurred in the northern section of town. The paving project was completed in June of 2018 at a cost of $1.46 million. The project provided for the mill and overlay of 1.5 inches of asphalt on 166,000 square yards of collector and residential streets. The project also included ADA sidewalk ramp modifications, curb repair, water valve adjustment, sewer manhole adjustments, and pavement striping. As part of the pavement management program, Mayor and Council approved a contract with an infrastructure management service company to provide the mapping of the town's roadway network and pavement management data. The pavement management program will utilize the information collected for future pavement management projects. The town's recent ADA ramp improvements on the Avenue of the Fountains in front of Park Place and the newly constructed sidewalk on La Montana are part of the sidewalk infill program and a continuing effort to provide a walkable community, accessible parking, and routes to local businesses and town amenities. The town-wide illuminated street name panel replacement project was completed in 2018. The project brought new retroreflectivity material to the old worn sign panels at 10 high-profile intersections. The No Texting While Driving ordinance was adopted by council to target distracted driving, to provide a safe environment for motorists and pedestrians. Specific signage has been installed at the town's entry points and other key locations to ensure proper notification to motorists.
Hi, I'm Bob Rogers and I'm your Development Services Director. We had a fairly busy year in 2018, so I'll just quickly mention a few of the highlights. The General Plan update. The General Plan is the town's guiding policy document for growth. All our land use regulations, ordinances, and policies are supposed to relate back to and further the goals and objectives of the town as adopted in our general plan. Under state law, every city and town must update their general plans every 10 years to reflect any changes the municipality may have experienced during that time. Our last update was in 2010. So we've begun the process and will continue over the next year and a half. Then we'll be bringing the updated 2020 general plan to the town council for approval in June of 2020, and then to the town voters for ratification at the November 2020 election. We've also adopted a number of pro-development rules. The Cantilever Development Ordinance was designed and adopted to assist in building new homes on steeper lots in town. Specific criteria have been designed to ensure that the town's visual character is protected while still allowing for hillside development on the town's more challenging terrain. Site fencing ordinance. This ordinance amendment changed the previous requirement that the hillside areas of properties under development be fenced off with chain link fences. The new ordinance will allow builders the option of erecting stakes and ropes to protect those areas, thus saving what can be significant expenses on larger and/or very steep lots. Builders still have the option to erect fencing if there are security or other safety concerns. Sign ordinance revisions. Due to the federal Supreme Court ruling against the town of Gilbert, cities and towns all across the country are having to revise their sign ordinances so as to remove content-based regulations. According to the ruling, municipalities can only regulate time, place, and manner when dealing with signage. So we'll be bringing forward a number of sign ordinance changes that remove language that could be considered content-based. This means that the town can regulate where a sign can be placed, when it can be placed there, and how it can be placed there, but we can no longer regulate what the sign says. The Dark Sky designation. With the assistance of the Fountain Hills Dark Sky Committee over the past 2 years, the town received our official Dark Sky Community designation in 2018. We continue to look for ways of enhancing the residents' quality of life, and we're all very proud that the town's wonderful reputation for unobstructed views in the night sky is now recognized internationally. The Dark Sky Committee sponsored a Dark Sky event during the summer, which was so successful that we broke all attendance expectations. So you can look forward to more events like that in the future. Talking about land developments, Adero Canyon. Toll Brothers has almost completed construction on their 61 house lots in Phase 1 of Adero Canyon. Phase 2 is now under review and will have an additional 235 house lots and 30 duplex lots. Phase 2 will also provide the much-anticipated paved access to the town's trailhead at the top of the canyon. And speaking of the trailhead, the Fountain Hills Preserve. The town was able to negotiate an additional 82 acres into the town's McDowell Mountain Preserve just before Christmas. The McDowell Mountain Preservation Commission is already hard at work designing some new trails that can be added in and through the area just north of Adero Canyon. The addition brings the Fountain Hills Preserve total area up to 822 acres. Adero Villas. In Parcel 8 of Adero Canyon, Camelot Homes has been building their townhouses in Adero Villas. The models are open and sales are good, and once completed, Camelot will have built 44 new townhouses in this section of Adero Canyon. The Retreat at Fire Rock. Toll Brothers is also in the process of building 64 luxury condominiums in Fire Rock. These condominiums are designed with a modern southwestern flair and are a great new addition. Models are open and sales are strong. Park Place. Park Place is the massive mixed-use project on the south side of the Avenue of the Fountains in the downtown area. Owned by RCS Group and in cooperation with Shea Connolly Development, Phase 1, which consists of only 2 of the 5 buildings in the project, is now complete. These 2 buildings include approximately 35,000 square feet of commercial space on the ground floors with a total of 230 apartments occupying the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th floors. This project will help bring a new and higher level of activity and vibrancy to the downtown area. Phases 2 and 3 have not yet been scheduled to begin, but when they do, they'll complete the build-out of the south side of the Avenue of the Fountains. Copperwind, our beautiful resort on the hill. Construction began this year to turn Copperwind into a first-class resort by expanding up to 300 rooms, expanding the restaurants and the function areas, and remodeling the outdoor patios and pool areas. We're all looking forward to this great amenity once the resort is complete. Daybreak. Just before the new year, the town received a proposal to develop 382 multifamily apartments on the vacant property at the northeast corner of Palisades Boulevard and Shea Boulevard, most commonly known as the resort property. The apartments are proposed to be a combination of market rate, age-restricted, and assisted living units on about 30 acres of the site. The remaining acreage, about 36 acres, would remain undeveloped and be placed into hillside protection. This project is currently under review.
Hi, I'm Rachel Goodwin, the Community Services Director for the Town of Fountain Hills. One of the town's biggest highlights of the year was the grand opening of the Adero Canyon Trailhead. This project was more than 15 years in the making and has been met with excitement and tremendous community support. The trailhead is located within the Fountain Hills Preserve, which was an initiative that began in 1995. In 1997, town residents voted to support a tax measure that raised $6 million to purchase the initial 300 acres of preserved space. The Adero Canyon Trailhead will serve as a new access point within the foothills of the McDowell Mountains by providing access to hundreds of miles of trails within the Fountain Hills Preserve, the neighboring Scottsdale Preserve, and McDowell Mountain Regional Park. Hikers now have access to much-needed water refill stations, restroom facilities, convenient parking, and a shaded Ramada area. The Adero Canyon Trailhead is the gateway to one of our most beautiful and treasured assets in Fountain Hills, our rugged, pristine desert. Our community center has once again been in full swing this year, playing host to a variety of programs, presentations, meetings, and performances. Groups such as our Quilts and More and popular events like the Ice Cream Social certainly put the active into our activity center name. After the success of last year's summer camp, Parks and Recreation added an additional week for the 2018 summer season. Held at the middle school for 1 week in June and in July, each of the camps had full enrollment with a waiting list. The camp registrants were treated to daily team building activities, active games, arts and crafts, and field trips to AZ Airtime, Scottsdale Glow Putt, Town Hall, the Community Center, the MCSO Department, Main Event, an escape room, Pangea Land of the Dinosaurs, Western Spirit Scottsdale Museum of the West, and the Fountain Hills Fire Station. Wacky Wednesday was another huge success. Residents came to beat the summer heat at Four Peaks Park. This program was a fun way to spend the late morning at the park and meet new friends and families. The kids were able to run through the sprinklers, splash in the kiddie pools, slide down a 50-foot slip and slide, and get sprayed by the fire department's giant water hose from a brand new fire engine. Kona Ice was also on hand selling yummy shaved ice. This year, the Community Services Department created many new successful youth, teen, and sports programs that inspire our community's youth to participate in fun, safe, and active programs. Our new programs included 3-on-3 youth basketball tournaments, a family holiday movie, middle school madness parkour trips, off-the-wall sports, wild and wacky games and sports, and free disc golf demos. The middle school madness trip was so successful that the Parks and Recreation Department will be developing a new family parkour program too. Four Peaks Park hosted the third annual Back to School Bash event on August 24th. This event featured water slides, inflatable games, a dunk tank, yard games, music, food trucks, MCSO, and the fire department. We look forward to continuing to grow this event and celebrating the end of summer and the start of the school year. The Golden Eagle Park playground was renovated last spring with the addition of new safety surfacing and state-of-the-art play features, including a huge new climbing structure. The public response has been overwhelming and the park has seen an increase in attendance. The dedicated park and public works staff did all of the demolition and sand removal to help keep costs down. This savings allowed the town to add additional play elements to the space, further enhancing the park. Golden Eagle Park also served as the host park for 16 regional baseball and softball tournaments. This is largely due in part to the hard-working park staff, who have done a great job of upgrading the park to tournament-quality conditions. Outside sports organizations know that Golden Eagle Park is one of the top destinations in Arizona to organize and host a baseball or softball tournament. Unfortunately, Golden Eagle Park sustained major damage to the ball fields as a result of unprecedented rainfall in October. The fields were inundated with approximately 3 feet of mud, boulders, and large debris. The outfield fences and backstops were damaged due to the force of the water and tremendous rubble. There was also significant flooding in the storage garage below the restroom building, resulting in damaged tractors, mowers, and other maintenance equipment. The existing washes and dam within Golden Eagle Park prevented the water from damaging homes and property downstream. However, the ball fields required significant restoration, including dredging, leveling, and replacement of sod, fencing, and backstops. Staff is in the process of restoring the park and are working towards a February reopening date. To encourage a healthy environment and to reduce litter caused by smoking, the Town Council adopted an ordinance prohibiting smoking in all town parks, open space, and trails. Smoking is now limited to designated areas. The Advisory Board and the trustees of Arizonans concerned about smoking will recognize the town with a Health Leadership Award in February.
I'm Grace Rodman-Guter, Communications and Marketing Coordinator with the Town of Fountain Hills. To promote tourism and visitation to Fountain Hills, the Tourism Division was the official home run sponsor for the team and was recognized with an announcement of "Get out of the valley and into the hills" each time the Cubs hit one out of the park. As a sponsor, the Fountain Hills name and logo was seen by a record-breaking audience of more than 200,000 fans. Other marketing efforts for the Tourism Division included print advertisements in Phoenix Magazine and other publications. Using social media, the Experience Fountain Hills promotional videos were shared with thousands of viewers. The biggest promotion of the year was a large-scale video advertisement in Terminal 4 of Sky Harbor International Airport. During its 8-week run, the ad was viewed by over 8 million travelers. At the 2018 International Festivals and Events Association Awards Ceremony, the Tourism Division received 3 IFEA Haas Wilkerson Pinnacle Awards for budgets under $100,000. The awards honored Fountain Hills with gold status for Best Emergency Preparedness and Risk Management Plan for an event, gold status for Best Single Ad Digital Social, and bronze status for Best Magazine Display Ad. This recognition by other organizations is considered the best of the best in the event industry and a true honor. This year, the Tourism Division was also the recipient of several grant awards. The Arizona Office of Tourism, the Fort McDowell Yavapai Nation, and the Salt River Pima Maricopa Indian Community have been significant tourism partners and have supported our efforts to promote Fountain Hills as a premier destination. Through their generosity, more than $60,000 in grant funds were received in 2018.
Hi, I'm Dave Ott, Fire Chief for Fountain Hills Fire Department. 2018 was a good year for the fire department. In 2018, we purchased a new Rosenbauer ladder truck. The new truck replaces the original ladder truck that was purchased from the Salt Lake City Fire Department following the 2002 Winter Olympics. Although it was becoming more expensive for the town to continue maintaining, it found a good home in Port Aransas, Texas. Port Aransas had suffered great damage to Hurricane Harvey in 2017. The town council authorized the donation of the ladder truck to help out Port Aransas. The demolition and reconstruction of the expanded Copperwind Resort allowed for 3 days of training on forcible entry, vertical ventilation, and firefighter survival. The fire department oversaw the annual homecoming bonfire at the Fountain Hills High School. The firefighters worked closely with the student body leadership and the faculty to make the event fun and safe. Santa brought in the holiday season, riding in the new ladder truck in the annual Thanksgiving Day Parade. Fire Station 2 recently relocated from Saguaro Boulevard to Fountain Hills Boulevard. The new 9,600 square foot station will house the fire engine crew from Station 2 as well as the ambulance crew currently stationed at the Fry Center. The new station features a living quarters, a small community meeting room, as well as an office for the MCSO deputies. The station has 3 truck bays that will accommodate Engine 2, the brush truck, our reserve fire engine, and the ambulance. The new location is a necessary step to improve the safety for our residents and visitors by providing improved response times to the south end of town. This will also help balance the calls for service volume between the 2 stations. The value of the old station is being assessed, and council will decide on its disposition. The proceeds from the sale of the station will be put back into the town budget.
My name is Larry Kratzer, and I was recently promoted and assigned to serve as the captain of the Sheriff's Office in Fountain Hills. Despite some high-profile incidents that have occurred in Fountain Hills over the past year, Fountain Hills continues to remain as a very safe and enjoyable community for residents and visitors, with person, property, and violent crimes remaining very low. MCSO deputies also remain heavily involved with the schools in Fountain Hills. Each school campus has a deputy assigned as the school's liaison, and the high school is staffed with a full-time school resource officer who continues to be a recognizable figure on the campus and who actively engages with students and staff to create a safe learning atmosphere. The Fountain Hills Coalition has been a leader in developing drug, alcohol, and tobacco prevention strategies for school-aged children in our community. 2018 data released regarding Fountain Hills youth shows that youth prescription drug abuse has reached its lowest level in 6 years. MCSO recently participated with the Prescription Drug Take-Back program with the Fountain Hills Coalition. Through the efforts, 518 pounds of unused, unwanted, and expired medication were turned in and destroyed in the town's efforts to prevent the abuse of prescription drugs. MCSO also coordinated with the Fountain Hills Coalition on updating the unique text-to-tip program designed to provide anonymous reporting of crimes in Fountain Hills. For several years, Fountain Hills utilized text-to-tip to encourage youths to report parties, as well as underage drinking and drug abuse. While the program was successful, the Sheriff's Office moved to a new mobile device app that can be deployed throughout Maricopa County for the purposes of residents reporting a variety of crimes in their community. The app sends the information directly to the MCSO Dispatch Center, which then directs the alleged violations back to the Fountain Hills Sheriff's Office for investigating. MCSO continues to be engaged in the community by participating in and hosting community outreach events in Fountain Hills. District 7 deputies and command staff hosted events such as Coffee with a Cop at the new Fountain Hills Starbucks, which had a very large turnout. The deputies also participated in the Back to School Bash, Make a Difference Day, the Neighborhood Night Out Block Party at Courtside Villas, and provided a tour of the MCSO substation to exchange students from Poland. Additionally, MCSO selected 5 students from the Fountain Hills Elementary School to attend the Shop with the Sheriff event, in which students were given the opportunity to Christmas shop for themselves or loved ones, with the deputy sheriff accompanying them around the store.
Hello, this is Craig Rodolfi. I'm the Finance Director for the Town of Fountain Hills. The Government Finance Officers Association awarded a Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting to the Town of Fountain Hills for its comprehensive annual financial report, the CAFR, for the fiscal year ended June 30th, 2017. This was the 22nd consecutive year that the town has received this prestigious award. And for the 6th year, the town received an award for Outstanding Achievement in Popular Annual Financial Reporting for the fiscal year ended June 30th, 2017. The finance staff continues to be transparent and explain government accounting concepts to the residents, with an emphasis on the types and uses of fund balances and the rainy day fund. In recognition thereof, the town received the GFOA's Distinguished Budget Presentation Award for its annual budget for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2017. This is the 16th consecutive year that the town has received the award. Finally, due to the work by the Finance Division, the town's investment policy, adopted by Council on April 6, 2017, as part of the amended and restated financial policies in Resolution 2017-09, the town has been recognized for conformance to the specified standards of investment policy as established by the Association of Public Treasurers of the United States and Canada.
Hi, my name is Scott Cooper, Economic Development Director. The year in economic development news saw several new projects bring new investment and quality new jobs to Fountain Hills. A new and unique business resource launched in Fountain Hills. EVIT, the town, and Arizona Business Advisors have developed a unique public-private partnership offering that doesn't exist anywhere else in the metro area. This new space is a business accelerator program supporting area entrepreneurs that combines the opportunity to network with peers in a private or co-working environment, interact with students, and have access to resources to help solve every business question. There are already 3 businesses operating within the facility. Fine Time Solutions, FTS USA, is an advanced manufacturing watch company that opened a state-of-the-art assembly and production facility in December. FTS will combine the efficiencies of modern mass production with the hands-on expertise and oversight of specialists from the USA and around the world to reestablish an American source for watch movements, components, assembly, testing, and service, with the goal of being the only American-made watch company. They will soon employ 30 people and expect to more than double that figure within 3 years. Soliton AZ, it's a medical device company focusing on treating endocrine issues in horses using therapeutic magnetic fields. Bob's Free Bikes collects unwanted bicycles, repairs them, and recycles them back into the local community to any child that would otherwise not be able to attain one. In 2014, the Mayo Clinic repurposed its former clinic space into an administrative use responsible for electronic medical records. In December, the Mayo Clinic transitioned the space into a call center for scheduling. This move brings 50 full-time jobs into downtown Fountain Hills. Team Training Institute is a new business that specializes in training for dental practices and working with front-end hygienists to guarantee every patient receives the highest care and the practice receives optimized production from every chair. Park Place welcomes new businesses to their commercial landscape. Grand Canyon Title Company is one of the largest title and escrow companies in Arizona. Classy Jazzy Cutique offers a collection of women's fashion that combines European elegance and current American trends. Oka Sushi, inventive sushi, Japanese-inspired cuisine, and innovative cocktails served in a high-energy, fun environment. Our social media marketing campaign reached out to 200,000 small business owners in California and Illinois with the message of relocating to Fountain Hills. Nearly 310,000 ads were run on Facebook and Instagram news feeds and search engines. These ads were viewed by over 2,200 potential residents and potential businesses. In the summer of 2018, the Town of Fountain Hills and the Chamber of Commerce joined forces to sponsor a community group called the Fountain Hills Young Community. This group has 3 core passions for fostering community engagement, social connection, and active lifestyle. These are their core foundations for connecting the community, developing meaningful and fulfilling experiences, and furthering the Fountain Hills brand of growing a diverse and vibrant town. The Town of Fountain Hills applied for and was designated as a neighborhood champion for Small Business Saturday by American Express. By becoming a neighborhood champion, American Express sent the town a box of free marketing materials which were delivered to local businesses and used to decorate the town hall and community center to help promote the event. Staff also utilized social media during the weeks leading up to Small Business Saturday to help rally community support to shop local during the holiday season. We continue to look for ways and opportunities to improve our high-speed internet. Access to high-capacity, high-speed information and communications technology enables companies to extend their reach globally from virtually any location. Local businesses will be able to compete with one in Chicago or Hong Kong. In doing so, we can level the playing field and better serve current businesses, our citizens, and better position the town for new business.
Heather Ware is the volunteer coordinator for the town of Fountain Hills. Volunteers support and participate in the town's Give a Lift program, home delivered meals, Fountain Hills Care Team, Make a Difference Day, and Community Center Christmas decorating and celebrations. These volunteers participate in the Activities and Volunteer Expo, Save Our Sculpture program, community services programs, and they help maintain and build trails. Volunteers serve in Town Hall and the Community Center, and these dedicated people also serve on the town's commissions and the Mayor's Youth Council.
Hi, I'm Colton Coltrap. I'm here with Mayor's Youth Council. This is actually a small representative of us. We have 23 members total, and we're all within the Fountain Hills school system. So what Mayor's Youth Council does is we learn how government works on a local and state level. For local, we have, honestly, many of you have come and spoke to us on just your everyday jobs, how local government is run, because we don't learn that in school. They just kind of tell us, like, yeah, it's run, don't worry about it. And yeah, I mean, and we also work hand in hand with Parks and Rec. That's truly humbling for most of us. It's just kind of like, oh, we see a flyer, like, oh, let's just meet there. You know, turkey trots on Thanksgiving, sweet. But it is so much work to plan an event, and you don't realize that. You have to get so many permits and so many things. So it's honestly really cool seeing how that is actually run. And on a state level, we get Senator Kavanaugh, who I'm sure you guys all know. He opens up the Capitol, well, not the whole Capitol, but parts of the Capitol to us, and we get to see how bills are actually moved and how many roadblocks there are for bills, and we get to sit down in filibusters, which I'm sure sounds terrible to you guys, but it's really fun for us to see like debates going back and forth that we never really get to experience in school. But ultimately, Mayor's Youth Council is all about community service. We're here to make this town a better place, and because we live in it and we want it to be. So we have 2 major events a year: Adopt a Street, which is 2 days out of the month, or kind of randomly, but twice a month. We go down to the road by CVS and we just clean it. It's super simple, no one's really there, but we just want our town to be presentable for when people drive through. We want them to say, this is a town that we want to stay in. We also do Make a Difference Day, which is an amazing experience. It's just people that need help, from painting their house to cleaning up yard work. It's truly, truly fun. I know it doesn't sound great working at like 6 a.m. in the morning, but when you have a group of people like this, when normally there's 23 of us, it's fun, and we're just here to really see how local government works, because we don't really get to actually learn that in school.
I got that off the ground yet, but we're going to get started very soon. First of all, I wanted to thank Town Manager Grady Miller and all those directors for indulging me by starring in the video. I'm so happy that they were able to share their experiences over the year, and we certainly appreciate all the accomplishments that have occurred under previous administrations. I want to thank Mike Chiccarone, he put that together, Nancy Walter and Liz Burke, and everyone who contributed to it with content and organizing and being good sports. It came out very well, and I'm very happy. So, what should you expect coming up? I'm thinking of two isms, realism and optimism. We'll do the realism first. At the council retreat on February 7th, you're going to see a serious, honest assessment of our town, with discussion and recommendations in the coming months while working toward a budget that tackles capital and operating needs, including staffing. There will be a streets action plan directing us to take our fiduciary responsibility and protect these assets. And by us, I mean all of us. Now and over the next couple of years, we will have to talk about realistic revenue options. We have positive news. It appears that Arizona's economy is in good shape, which will make our shared revenue distribution healthier. There's a little bit of a lag time with that, but our finance staff will take that into consideration as we look to the future. The state is going to be cautious because from what they were saying, a lot of the surplus is considered one-time funding, so therefore they're not likely to start much that will generate ongoing costs. But again, this is a very encouraging sign that will complement our local economic strength. Similarly to the state, we need to weigh our decisions. Again, balance will come into play. How do the things we want fit in with expenses like repainting and recarpeting buildings, repairing roads, replacing vehicles, and our public safety priorities? You all understand this. Anyone who comes to retreats or attends our budget sessions or has been following any of this knows that it's beyond capital needs. We can argue about those capital dollars, what are the amounts and how can we raise them, and which projects can be deferred, but it's hard to discount the shortage in our operating budget. Relying on the good hearts and dedication of staff to continue to perform more than one full-time job, or relying on professional retirees who are literally volunteering their services, is not sound business practice. We've been finding it difficult to fill positions, and there are more vacancies on the horizon. Our HR professional is also doing a completely unrelated job. Our streets department relies on one person to be on call 24/7 too much of the time. The outcome of staffing issues is that it affects your quality of life, from little annoyances like a phone that is unanswered to a business that may be adversely affected by licensing or permitting delays. Weeds, medians, and washes can't be tended to enough. Code enforcement in general is lacking. The walkway around the lake can only be power washed just so often. A storm, as you saw in the video, caused damage that used up our entire environmental fee fund, which, as it is, only covers about half of the routine associated costs. Comprehensive economic development takes time to come to fruition, but the sources are required immediately. Back to giving our residents what hometown experiences that we want them to get. These events that make us special are on the table too. For example, it looks like we're going to have no choice but to go to every other year for the Ballet Arizona. The same donors, businesses, and organizations are asked to help with all these events year after year. We who love to attend are very grateful, but we recognize that without more town support, the activity level may not be sustainable. I mentioned earlier a little bit about social media and impatience. If something you read or hear doesn't seem quite right, investigate. Wait for the information or ask the source directly. Being misunderstood or unheard can be discouraging for all of us on all of the sides. Let's give each other a break. We don't know what people are going through. I think we can agree, though, that there are ideals that are universal. We all wish for shared success, and many of us are willing to get on board and help. Realism and optimism can coexist. Optimism comes from confidence and trust. Join us as we continue to work for future economic development and growth with the Chamber and others, and as we serve our residents and businesses by keeping our neighborhoods safe and well-maintained. Join us as we protect our assets, our amazing views, and our outdoor life. And as we look to education and housing, activities and amenities to attract new residents and visitors. And join us as we rethink conventional strategies, looking to our community resources, our people, and present a welcoming, thriving hometown. I was honored to attend the opening day at the legislature, a day that was full of excitement and anticipation. It's like when a game starts, 0-0. It's a clean slate, and calls for bipartisanship and cooperation while bringing hope and enthusiasm. I was able to talk with some people there, advocating for local issues, ours and other cities, along with professional organizations that represent municipalities like us. The League of Cities and Towns, the Maricopa Association of Governments, the Greater Phoenix Economic Council, and Valley Metro. Recently, new U.S. Senator Martha McSally reached out and met with several of us East Valley mayors. She was seeking our input. She's talking to cities and towns all over Arizona. I'm sensing a desire on many levels to accomplish goals together. It struck me back in 1984 while attending the first planning session, it might be called the beginning of our strategic planning, how clearly the participants wanted to move in a direction that was strongly committed to the people who chose to live here and to preserving our unique community. Over 30 years later, I firmly believe that a majority of our citizens still agree with those stated goals. They've been articulated over and over again through the strategic plan, through the Vision Fountain Hills, and those many years of meetings and surveys. They value our natural environment and views, our schools, our safe neighborhoods, our outdoor life, and our, indeed, small-town charm. This does not contradict supporting growth. In fact, it complements it. It is business-friendly to supply customers, residents, and visitors who want to be here. In fact, I read a survey that said 23% of the U.S. population wish they lived in small towns, but only 13% have the privilege of waking up in a place like Fountain Hills every morning. Anyone who has seen the stunning scenic pictures taken by our many exceptional local photographers would have to agree that there is plenty new under the Fountain Hills sun. As we move towards celebrating our 30th anniversary of incorporation and 50 years of the fountain, let's do what we can together to keep our town as special and exciting for our brand new neighbors as it was for the adventurous ones who came here so many years ago. We owe them all our best. Now, to continue this conversation, we'll be aiming for another Town Talk Tuesday, hopefully February 26th, at the community center here with some council members, and as we go along, council members will be alternating hosting with me so we can hear from you. And of course, the retreat on February 7th. That is also going to be here starting at 9 a.m. We would appreciate any, it's going to be a long day, but if you see the agenda, you can pick what you're interested in, come and watch. And the folks that you saw in the video will be going into detail, and we'll be making some plans for what we're going to do for the future. I want to thank Council members Brown, Leckrone, Magazine, Charno, Spelich, and Tolis for their time, their talents, and their commitment to Fountain Hills. I will be around to talk after if you would like, and honestly, I truly appreciate being here. I truly appreciate all of you coming, and thank you so much for being here today. We love our Fountain Hills. Thank you very much. Thank you. Now we are back to the chambers for some business and their closing remarks from Leanne Torkelson.
Good morning, everyone. On behalf of SRP and the Fountain Hills Chamber Board of Directors, it has been our pleasure to have you join us at the State of the Town address. We truly appreciate support from SRP, the Fort McDowell Yavapai Nation, Republic Services, Fountain Hills Sanitary District, Euro Pizza Cafe, Fountain Hills Recovery, Fountain Hills Unified School District, and Desert Title and Tag. Best wishes to you and safe travels wherever your day may take you.